Really appreciate you all. Thank you all. Really do, really do, really do. We're going to go over the day 2 for me. I know it's day 3 for the camp, but I'm just going to give you guys my thoughts and what's all transpired throughout the day and what all I was able to see and just the flavor of this offense and defense. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Yeah. Y'all still know I found a way to put this beat on there. I can't get it going without it. Yes. Appreciate you all. Thank you all, man. Let the room fill up. Yeah. We're going to talk about it, Cowboy Nation. We're going to do this thing the way we know how to. Yeah. Yeah. Let me turn it down a little bit. Let me turn it down. Turn my volume down, right? Really appreciate you all. Thank you all that's there too. Shout out to all of the Oxnard's gang. We're going to try to grow this thing so that next year around this time, we have everybody here. I'm talking about all of the big guys to do this YouTube talk and Facebook talk and beyond. And the people that's interested in coming out regardless, whether or not you do talk radio or not, or really not a part of the media members and things like that. Information is information, but sometimes information could be and can be handed off to the wrong person, and people will run away with it, and they'll take it as gospel, or they'll take it as fake news and things like that. Starting off, I would say that if anybody was misguided or anybody was using my information as wrong news or fake news or speculations for the nation, then I apologize. But the information that I get, I'm not a breaking news guy. I'm not a guy that's going to be able to say, hey, these are the things that happen. I'm just never that guy. I'm always rather for somebody else to run off with it. And going into today's camp, it was some scary news heard from the masses. I come through the gate and someone said that, hey, Amari Cooper, he's laid out on a cart, and they drove him off and from the earlier morning practice. And my first thing is to do is to see if I can confirm it, and that's just the reality of it. And one of the guards, he was talking to me, and they don't supposed to give out information, so I'm not going to be one of those guys and be like, yeah, this guy. 2 of them actually said, yeah, they carted him off or what have you. So I hit up, the resources that I can find, and I'm not going to throw any names out there. And they said, well, I don't know where you're getting this news from. And one other person said, yeah, this is the news, this is the reality, this is what's going on. So I didn't report it. Someone else reported it, and it got back that Law said, he said type of stuff. But I'm going to let you guys know that I don't do any fake news. I don't do any reporting or breaking down of anybody's news. My main goal is to show you guys the film, evaluate the film, and let you know that, hey, this guy could possibly make it, or this guy can't, or this guy we need to lean towards, or this guy, he's looking good, and these sorts of things. But the reality of it, if you guys see the live screen, you will actually see that Amari Cooper caught that first pass. And I managed to post it on my Law Nations 2.0 page. You can see that pass. Or if you live on my Facebook panel, you can see it somewhere floating around on my Facebook page. And it's on the ground. So Amari Cooper, short area quickness is there. He looks fine. He's doing a noble thing. Remember, he's Mr. Nice Guy, because he have every right to look at this team and say, hey, Jason Garrett, you probably wouldn't even be the coach if I didn't come on this team last year. You guys were 3-5, right? Dak Prescott, you would have been in the dog of the doghouse. Hell State, you got that bulldog over there, but you'd probably been with him, if I didn't come on his team. But he's not a team. He's not a I'm guy. He's not a diva guy. He's not a what's it, big eyes and little U's. He's not that guy. He's more of a guy to say to himself, I'm about this team. I'm about that work action. I'm about getting out there on the field and getting that win. That's what Amari Cooper's about. If we can have 11 Amari Coopers on the offensive side of the ball, boy, there's another guy just sitting at the house chilling in the Kool-Aid, drinking his Kool-Aid, hope he's not eating all day, and he wears a 2 and a 1 on his jersey. And I understand I can see where he's coming from, because he's the end all be all for this team. But it wouldn't hurt him at all to get on that plane to fly out there for the kids, for the young kids that's going out there wearing them 21 jerseys. It's more 21 jerseys out there than any other number out there. So don't you think that those people, there's people that's paying $300 to $600 to be in a certain side of that field to see number 21, and he's not there. Those are the people that Ezekiel Elliott should show up for. But I know football is not like that, So that's a story of a different day. But it's a glorious thing seeing all of those blues and whites. But the guy that shined today was number 81, John Vaya Johnson. John Vaya Johnson looked like he's something. Y'all check out my guy, my brother from another mother, Vash Lombardi's film breakdown. I wish that when the film was coming out that I was able to participate in film breakdowns of that kid. It's spectacular. John Vaya Johnson, Reggie Davis, he caught every pass that was thrown his way. And if you look at the live stream, you'll see that Reggie Davis has got this. He just had this knack of finding the soft spots, turn his head around for the ball. I like his skill set. He's the smallest guy out there. He's the little engine that could. So we will see whether or not if he can keep that same energy during the preseason. And Tony Pollard, somebody just mentioned, how do you feel about Tony? I got a chance to see him catch a few balls out there. He's looking sharp. It was more so of the wide receiver display. Shout out to my guy Shango, man. Still, guys, go follow Shango live, man. Go follow Shango. If you don't know who Shango is, shame on you. Type in Shango in Dallas, and you'll see his face and logo. You'll see him talking about the Cowboys. He flew around and got a good section. So look at the film, and he got this 4K camera. He's gonna have some wet stuff. He gonna put the stuff out there. The Gallup catch, Gallup running, looking like I had to prop in my eyes and say, is that 88? Not Dez 88. I'm talking about when I was growing up, 88. Michael Irvin 88. I had to just look. I had to really, real talk, Cowboy Nation. I had to really look to see whether or not there was Michael Irvin under that jersey, the number 13. He looks good. These wide receivers look good. The guy that didn't do the drills was Tyron Christian. The most part of it, I didn't get a chance to see him do any drills. I think that they are still trying to let him learn the playbook, so they are actually installing the plays. Monday, the pads come on, so I know for sure they're still going to coddle him a little bit until he becomes knowledgeable of the playbook, because you just don't want to have somebody out there. I know there's 2 a days, so there's practice that's closed off and only media credentials, and then there's, I guess, a session for everyone to see. And we didn't get a chance to see Tyron Christian today. It was a closed out event. How did he look like Irvin? Going across the middle, catching that high point ball. Goo artist, man. Yeah, he looks good like Irvin going across the middle. Not saying that he's going to be the next Michael Irvin. I know that people love to hear that, but Gallup, amateur star Ganza. Gallup caught every pass. He looked smooth. Yeah, he dropped one on the catch drill, and that's on the live stream. And he dropped a total of 3 passes, and I can't count that against him. The catch drill, the ball coming out, shooting out real fast, and he was real close up on it. I think that he just wasn't ready. Amari Cooper dropped one. The person that caught everything that was thrown his way was the guy that wore number 82. 82 was catching everything that was thrown his way. Everything that was thrown his way. And he looks sharp out there. I know that we have we got to ask ourselves, can there be 4 tight ends? We got to ask ourselves, can there be 4 tight ends on this team? Because Rico is looking good. Schultz is looking good. And it's going to be somebody that's going to catch that grind, catch that axe. Your boy is looking good. Of course, Jarwin, he caught a sweet pass. I think Shango got it on his footage there, so you will see that guy catching the ball. And there's this another guy. I had somebody had to reach a man and say, "Man, who's number 84?" And he said 84 came from the LA Rams, and I was like, "Who?" And he wears number 84. His first name is Cody, and Cody looking sharp, man. He looking real good out there, Cowboy Nation. So look out for number 84. He's a guy that came from the Rams practice squad or something like that, or from their roster, and he looks pretty good. For real. Michael, shout out to you, Saunders, Rob, Chad, Holmes, man, appreciate you, man. Yes, Rob, appreciate you, man. Thank you for tuning in. Jackson can't do special teams. You talking about Darius Jackson? Robertson, man, appreciate you, man, for the donation. Thank you for coming through for the donation, man. I think I'm gonna give me a hamburger now, right? And some French fries, hamburger and some French fries, right? My thing is, Michael Jackson, when I did that video earlier, I was live and I was showing you guys Michael Jackson. He better not try to do nobody's punt return. He don't got the hands like that, so. Yeah, so let me see what we got here. The only vid I have seen so far is when Coop, Gallup, and Witten was right in front of you. Witten and Gallup and caught every ball. Coop dropped one. Yeah, he owed me some push-ups, man. I'm gonna look, when I meet Cooper at this Cowboys Experience, shout out to Cowboys Experience, man. That's where you guys can go to see all of the action for the game. We do like every home game. We have like a pep rally down here in Dallas. We bring some players out, and Gallup is one of the guys that come out to the events. I'm gonna say, Gallup, I saw you out there. Yeah, like you didn't hear me. You gonna have to give me some push-ups, bro. You dropped that ball. But ever since then, Gallup was catching the ball, approaching the ball, meeting the ball with his hands, letting the ball hit those mittens first, and then bring the ball to his body and securing it. Sanjay Lyles, he was in like this little tricycle thing. I think he just snapped up his leg. Maybe he bought one of those big old houses with all that money Cowboys and Jerry Jones is paying him, and probably tripped over something. But Sanjay Lyles is coaching these guys to greet the ball, let the ball hit them in the mittens. You want to form that diamond right there. Let that ball hit you, extend, cuff it in, and bring it and secure that ball. And that's what they've been doing, Cowboy Nation. Tavon, he didn't run a lot of drills, but Tavon did a lot of punt returns drills. And number 18, Randall Cobb, I'm telling you, the boy got quick feet, elusive enough to get skinny and get upfield. He did a great job as well. Number 11, he did a great job. 27 did a great job too. He was doing some punt returns as it relates to punt returns. So I think tomorrow is going to be the one-on-one. So they're putting pads on. So it's going to be the one-on-one. So we're going to get a good look and a good glimpse at the defense. No T. Will catches. Yeah, there's nobody that allowed that ball to hit him in the body. Nobody. Cedric Wilson, he did a good job. I think I got him on one of my live streams, catching the deep ball too. So all those guys are just letting the ball fall into their mittens and bringing it close to their body. Appreciate you, Robinson. Look, guys, I don't know about you all, but those who out there, they know that I've been doing everything from this phone. We've been live, we've been talking, we've been going over plays since sunlight been up, and I got tons of things that I got to push out too. So, but I just want to give you guys some recap, give you guys what's going on out here, down here in Oxnard. Chris Coverton, the linebacker, he's injured. Hopefully he can jump back and bounce back, but he's injured. That's the news from earlier today as well. Who else? I'm leaving out something that I want to tell you all. Somebody. Punt return duties. We talked about that. I'm thinking that Randall Cobb is going to win that deal. I think Tavon Austin is going to be the guy that, he's going to get the chance to do the punt returns, when it's not pinned deep. Remember that safe punt return guy? It was always Cole Beasley. When we just want the guy to catch the ball and don't go anywhere. Well, we don't have that anymore. I'm thinking that when that occurs, you will have more so of the Randall Cobb, and then when you really want that explosive play, you will put Tavon Austin out there. And I'm thinking that they got Tavon Austin on a snap count. They got him on a snap count because the guy been known to get injured and these sorts of things. So I'm thinking that they got him on a snap count. Appreciate you, Hector, man. Thank you for being part of this thing. TJ, yes. We saw Noah Brown out there. He was just walking around. He wasn't really doing anything. Yes, Nene. Appreciate you, Nene. Shout out to you, Nene. Appreciate you. Thank you for letting everybody to smash that like button and set that thing on fire. Let people know where to go when they want to tune in to Sports Talk. Billy Bob Thornton is a Cowboy fan. Can't stop us all, boys. Yeah. Shout out to Billy Bob, man. Thornton. Jones is the Dolphins for life. Yeah. We played the Dolphins this year. They got Allen Hurns and they got what's the other kid named? Bryce Butler. Our DB is going to light them up like a Roman candle. They're going to light them up, especially Bryce Butler. His concentration effort is just really low when you get that pressure on him. Now, free release, Bryce Butler will eat you up all day in the zone, so they're not going to give him nothing free. They're going to, them boys, especially if Byron Jones is playing during that time, oh, it's going to get nasty for old boy. And I ain't lying to kick it with you either. I'm telling you the real deal Holyfield truth. Dak is looking good. Say prime time. Oh, my goodness, Dak. That Dak. The reason why Dak, we was watching the individual drills, and they was passing to the corner drill, not the accuracy drill yesterday. They're doing like a corner drill practice, throwing the ball to all of the receivers, making sure you can still stay in bounds. That Dak is on it, man. And the reason why I keep saying that Dak is on it, because those remember that Dak Prescott was not always a good practice player. He wasn't. Dak Prescott was never a good practice player. And now he's becoming a good practice player. Now, we do know it's against air. We do know that there's nobody defending them. And we do know that everybody have the same, amount of attempts or what have you. But the second best quarterback out there today was John Kitna. Me and Shango, we was watching the film and we was sitting there saying like, man, who's that guy with the blue long sleeves on? Yeah, that's Coach Kitna. He was going through his progressions, reading the ball, passing the ball to the wide open receiver. But we can do that, right, when you're not getting sacked and you've been sitting on your couch eating Cheetos all day. What do you think about number 5? This is Roscoe. Chicken and waffles, right? Shout out to you, Roscoe Carter. Number 5, I want to say again, all of his throws are looking like they're coming out with ease. Now, I don't know if he's Bigfoot or what have you, or what's the other guy, the Sasquatch or whatever they call it, or the Loch Ness Monster. It can only shows up at spurts and only shows up during practice. Maybe he's a good practice player and a horrible game player. Maybe, those butterflies get into your belly and they sound like the school that I'm from, Jackson State Sound of Dynamite, Sonic Boom of the South. They sound like all of those schools down there in the South. Maybe that is what's going on with your boy. I don't know. So when the lights cut off, remember, we've been having these issues before, Cowboy Nation. We had these issues before with Lance Lenore. I did a film breakdown that got over 110,000 views on him. The guy, he never lived up to any of those expectations that we had out there. But I can say this, though, Cowboy Nation. We just have to wait and see with that boy. We do. We have to wait and see. Skandrick signed with the Eagles. Yeah. Cry, Eagles cry, to the land of no victory. You think for sure, and I'm not trying to throw shade nor salt at Orlando Skandrick, But if you think that we burnt them Eagles up for 455 yards, now that you added Orlando Scandrick, boy, I think it is going to be 555 yards. The guy don't want that contact, man. Come on, man. Come on, guy. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. You guys know I'm telling the truth, man. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. I got to get out of the way of that of that thing, okay? Now I'm this way. I got to lean more towards this way. Man, y'all know them Eagles going to be crying, boy. Man, they going to be crying because my thing is with Orlando, and we see it even with Anthony Brown. Anthony Brown occurred, 2 sacks last year? An interception or a breakdown or something like that. I think he got an interception. It would take 2 to 3 years for that to happen for Orlando. Orlando was always the guy who was, I'm almost there, but I'm not there type of deal. So, in reality, it's a good deal for us. And then on top of that, for anybody to say, well, he's going to tell all of the secrets. I don't think Orlando Scandrick played when Chris Richard was here. I could be wrong. But I don't think he did. Shout out to Tom Jasper, man. Thank you for tuning in. Landon, what's good, man? How did 97 Taco do? I just got a clip of him running up and down. They didn't do a lot for Taco today. It was just like real slowish out there for the defense. This was more of an offensive show today, wide receiver show, quarterback show, punt return guys. I didn't really see too much on the defensive side. The offensive line was doing their deal, and trust me, I'm sitting there looking at the wide receivers and the kickers and the punt returns, and the offensive line got no love. I think I panned to them like for a couple of seconds. I said, okay, all right. Offensive line. I couldn't tell you who whooped who what. You know what I mean? Like I said, if we were doing it the right way, Cowboy Nation, if we get these sponsors all in line, I'm going to try to work this thing out next year so we get all of the sponsors all in line and everybody can get out here to Oxnard, everybody, so we can have Foots on one side, Shango on the other side, Mark Holmes, walking around with Joe Boo on the front side, and then have my guy Voch Lombardi and Big Game James on the other thing. And that way we can give you guys full coverage, and just have a full network of the underground dogs. That's what I'm envisioning. I'm envisioning something like that because we put in a lot of work, Cowboy Nation, but I want to be able to identify, certain players are doing that work action and give you guys some street talk with it. Because, the stuff that you guys will hear from like 105 and also 1310 The Ticket and Cowboys.com, that's good stuff. But sometimes you guys want to get it from our angle, from our point of view. Not thinking that we can get this done. Like all you guys that's in the chat box, we can get all this stuff done just like that. Foots was at the Redskin camp, said Haskins looks like trash. Well, he could be Dak Prescott, horrible at practice and good at everything else. David, yeah, appreciate you, man. I was wondering how did the safety position look. Those guys, they did one drill that I was able to capture. Alumba, and although he's a cornerback, he did pretty well. Number 20 did pretty well. Who's that? I think he's George Iloka. He's more. I thought he was going to be like this big, massive guy, but he looked like more of a cornerback. Did you notice the Eagles drafted no secondary, no backup quarterback? This is from Travis, man. Thank you for the donation. I don't know, man. Look, I just want to see the Eagles when we see them. I just want to see them when we see them. Trust me, they are the Eagles, and we have our feelings towards the Eagles. You guys know how I feel towards the Eagles. I never liked them, especially when they cheered and they booed Santa Claus and they cheered when Mike Irvin, the playmaker, went down. And I still hold them all to that. They throw batteries at Santa Claus for crying out loud. And they got a jail cell within the stadium, so I guess they probably still do have a jail cell, but who knows? Eagles planning on signing Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush get a bad name because Mike White today passed a whole lot better than Coop, and the other kid, number 5, passed a little bit better than Coop from what we seen earlier. But we will see when the lights cut on, how the communication with Dak and Cobb. I think Dak still got that rapport mostly with Michael Gallup, Amari Cooper, number 82, and we'll see. But that guy today was number 11. That's Reggie Davis. And I'm hopefully you guys can just turn on to my Instagram, and I'll post that little clip of him catching the ball with Reggie. Reggie of all people. Yeah, Dak looked good, the original. Yeah, he looked good. Let me jump over to my Facebook panel, man. I really appreciate you all, man. I appreciate you all, man. I really do. Rob was good, man. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, so we looking sharp, Cowboy Nation. All we got to do now is to top a few things on the back end. I mean, if we can do that, then that would be nice. And when I say the back end, I'm talking about like these running backs. I want to see who's going to emerge out of those guys, because we've seen the story before with Darius Jackson. He looks like Ezekiel Elliott. He looks like a fit Ezekiel Elliott. You know how Ezekiel Elliott looks like a little rounded. Darius looking like he's chiseled enough, and he looked like a clean cut Ezekiel. But we'll see if he can step it up, man. He's quick. Darius is quick. You saw his foot drills on my Law Nations 2.0 page. He can go through those little hoops there. But my thing is, what slowed Darius down was when he had that spell off and he went to Cleveland Browns. To me personally, I wish that the Cowboys looked at this total picture and said, you know what? We just going to roll with Darius Jackson opposed to the Alfred Morris, as opposed to the Run DMC. And he would have progressed a little bit better than what he's doing now. So far, as far as the running back lineups, I'm looking at Darius Jackson as the number 1 running back, and then there's Tony Pollard, then there's Mike Weber, and then there's some other guy that I saw out there, the war number 42. He's the fullback, and then Jameis Olawale before number 42, of course. You guys look up 42. Big guy. He's a fullback. What Cowboys player, offense or defense, do you think got and would be a safety for a fantasy football team? Let me see if I can go read it from here, man. This is from Landon. A good guy that you should pick up for your fantasy football league, depending on, I'm not a fantasy football guy, but if you want to pick up anybody, I would say your quarterback, Dak Prescott. You pick him up for your fantasy points as far as the quarterback play. And then for your wide receivers, you can select Amari Cooper. Those will be the 2 guys. And then for your defense, just pick the Dallas Cowboys defense. On my way walking out of the stadium or walking out from the training field, I said, Shango said, hey, I wouldn't mind them being number 7 defense. And I said, I'm greedy. I'm greedy, Cowboy Nation. I would want us to be number 1. Number 1 defense. I would settle for number 2. And I will lay down for number 3. We got to be top 3 defense regardless. I'm looking at the defensive front 4. I'm looking at the Tristan. I'm looking at the Kerry Hyders of the world. I'm looking at the D-Law looking good out there, running out there with his glasses on, looking cool. Mo D-Law. He looking good out there. And then if you add in the fact that the Quinn kid, he looking good too. So all those boys on that front 4, they looking solid. LVE looking like he grew bigger, man. And then if you're talking about Jalen Smith, for crying out loud, man, that guy look like he's aficionado. You see, so with that front 4 and those 2 to 3 linebackers out there, Sean Lee is like a fan favorite. He walks out there, everybody like, Sean Lee. So if Sean Lee can give us a few series, man, This front four, the secondary, everybody else, I'm looking at number 1 to number 3 defense, regardless. I would rather for us to be number 1. And more turnovers and more takeaways. Remember this, Cowboy Nation. Remember this. And I hit the 30-minute marker. I'm going to try to go a little bit longer. Because I got to find me something to eat. Refill my soul, right? Remember this, Cowboy Nation. The Cowboys last year was with their first year with Chris Richard. So those guys were thinking out there. Do I cover the zone? Do I cover the A gap? Do I squeeze inside the B right now? Do you want me to roll over to the C? Hey, guys, do you want me to press for how long? For the first 4 or 5 yards? What technique are you trying to have me to do now? But what happened here collectively, Cowboy Nation, is that those guys, they start looking at this thing and they say, hey, we did it last year like this, we did it last year like that. And there's something about continuity and rapport and all that good stuff that works well hand in hand with this thing. So they're going to be better regardless of how you look at it. We hope more turnovers. Yes, hope. Look, I always say this, when there's hope in the future, there's power in the presence. And those guys was out there, that defense, they should be a whole lot better. They should not be thinking. Everybody should be flying out to the ball. Xavier Woods should know his responsibilities and duties. LVE, he should be in the right sectors of the field. All those things come into place. Chris Richard is going to be a head coach. Look, our defense is going to be so great next year or this year, if you want to put it in those terms. This year, Chris Richard is going to get phone calls out of the wazoo. So Jerry Jones got to make his decision. He got to make his mind up. I think that Rob Marinelli may say, hey, I'm going to step down after this year. Chris Richard, here you go, head defensive coordinator. Not just by responsibility out there on the field, but just by name and duties, because I'm stepping down. Yes, will Gregory play this year? Malcolm Davis, I don't know. I definitely don't know. And you see that you know that Michael Jackson know how to moonwalk over situations like that. You see now that Jerry Jones know how to moonwalk through that. He mentioned, I talked to Randy Gregory the other day, and I ain't gonna talk on it because he trying to hold it in. There's something going on with Kamish and Jerry Jones about this Randy Gregory situation. So if Randy Gregory get out there, man, make your face look ugly. I'm gonna ball my face as ugly as I can. Man, ooh, this how the defense gonna be looking. Man, this is gonna look like this. That's how crazy our defense is gonna look. That's how crazy our defense is gonna look, man. That's how crazy our defense is gonna look, man. Every time y'all see, y'all be like this. Ooh, that's how them hits are gonna be looking. You get our full-fledged defense out there, it's gonna look nice, man. Yes. How mobile was Dak in the pocket? Dak footwork looked a whole lot better than it was the first 2 to 3 years. Dak footwork is improving. And if you look at it, after every technique, and I don't know if this was done last year because I wasn't at camp last year, you will see the coaching up the coaching on Dak Prescott. John Kitna was saying, no, you got to do it like this. Shorten that stance a little bit. Explode that ball out. And you can see him doing his front, explode that ball out, like he's doing karate, for crying out loud. I want you to do this. I want you to be here. It was actually coaching being involved out there today. And I saw Kellen Moore out of all of the plays that was going on and on and on. And I know this is kind of far-fetched. I know. I'm not reaching, for crying out loud. I'm just telling you guys what I saw. That Kellen Moore, motion this guy out. Motion 18. Motion number 11 when he came into the offense. The slot guy always moved to one side of the field, and they did a lot of motioning. And one time they motioned and gave it to the running back. So I like it. I like the youthfulness. I like the high hopes and high expectations. I love it. Matter of fact, I said I lied. I love it. I love the fact that we have this now, this enthusiasm out there, and everything is not so mundane. Josh Manning, Carl Joseph is horrible in pass coverage. This is from Joseph Sandberg. And he does miss on tackles. My thing is, if you look at Carl Joseph, he's a marginally better Kayvon Frazier. So I don't know how much that changes your team, but that's what he is. And he's his numbers, I know people are going to pull up numbers, but Jeff Heath numbers are still better than Carl Joseph. So as far as what Carl Joseph can do opposed to Jeff Heath or Kayvon Frazier, you pretty much just playing musical chairs. Or George Local, you pretty much at that time or that portion, you're just rearranging the furniture on the Titanic at this point. You're not changing anything. It's still going down. It's still the same thing. Now, I will give Jeff Heath his only pass right here, and crucify me later. This last year was his first year with Chris Richard. So that's how I'm looking at it. So hopefully, like I said, this year they don't have to think as much. And he was playing with a bomb shoulder. Now, do a bomb shoulder had to do anything with that misread on Jeff Heath or that misread on Jared Goff? No, it don't have to do anything to do with that. But the whole team collectively on the defensive side of the ball kind of was like, not that great of a run-stopping performance against the LA Rams. What's up, in Christ? What's up, Law Nation? Go Cowboys. Super Bowl time. For real, for real. Yes. Super Bowl. Suck to see my Cowboys get hurt. Yeah, Ventura. I think too much motion can confuse the offense because the clock management problem. This is from DeJuan Cook. That's why they practicing now. I'm thinking that the motion is more of a smoke and mirrors. They already have their preset mind of what the plays are. So I'm thinking that motioning before every play just throws the defense off. I'm thinking that they already know what plays is already designed. Remember, football is still 11 on 11. It's nothing new under the sun. This is still same old classic football. And if anybody think that a rabbit is going to be pulled out of a hat, it's not happening. Scott Linehan was not all the way trash. Not everything was wrong on Scott Linehan. It was just a few things. It's just stubbornness. Sometimes you can be a casualty or a tragedy to your own success. Sometimes as a coach, you can look at it from these angles and say, well, when I had Randy Moss, we did it this way. Well, dog it, there's no Randy Moss on your team, Scott Linehan. Or then he could say, well, I had Megatron, we did it this way. This is how we was able to win. And then I have to look around and say, there's no Megatron on his team. And then if you say to yourself, when I had Dez Bryant, this is how we was able to do it. And I look around and say, dog it, we don't have a Dez Bryant. So that's the problem. Sometimes you get stuck in your own ways, and then you can say the same thing about Matthew Stafford and Tony Romo. Dak Prescott don't throw the ball like those particular guys. Two different types of quarterbacks. Now, what Dak Prescott is similar to Tony Romo is that he knows how to evade, he knows how to get out, he knows how to get separation as it relates to the blitzer coming in and these sorts of things, because he's mobile a little bit. So those are the things that they are similar in, and the will to win. Tony Romo had that will to win and desire to win as well. It's just that things didn't work out his way because he was a little bit more of a gambler. Don't bet on black. Don't bet on black. And he bet on black. Don't bet on red. Don't bet on red this time around. And he bet on red. That's just how the cookie crumbles for him. Too many penalties last year. Hazel, yes, we're going to correct those things up. We're going to get it right. All right, Cowboy Nation, I didn't talk to you guys long enough, man. I really appreciate you all. Thank you all, thank you all, thank you all. From the high heavens, from my lips to your ears, I really appreciate it, man. It's been a wonderful day. We're going to have practice out there tomorrow with pads. So look for us to get some footages of that, and hopefully we'll see more of the defensive drills, seeing the offensive line versus the defensive line, stuff like that. Who's going to win? Remember, around this time last year, we was looking at, we was like, man, what's going on with Travis Frederick, man? Why is he getting his lunch money taken? You know, Antoine Woods ain't that good. And then we was like, Brian Price, why is he? I think he was out there taking somebody lunch money. Those boys is not even on the team now. We was like, how is he beating Travis Frederick? And then we realized, oh, he's sick. Yeah, get that sickness going on. And now he's back out there. So he's ready. So he's ready to shake off all those things. And another thing, Connor Williams is looking a whole lot bigger. He looks like he belongs. So we'll see how this thing all unfold, Cowboy Nation. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Let me play my outro music, baby. Let me play that thing, man. Yeah, let me see if we can play that, Cowboy Nation. You guys know how this thing go, right? One day at a time, one movement at a time. And once I find my outro, we going to get on out of here, Cowboys. Don't forget to share this thing. Share it with a friend, neighbor, foe. Share it with your cousin, your uncle, your auntie. Ray and Pookie and them. Share it with them, man. Let them know, man, that you guys got this guy to talk Cowboys, sports, talk, football, and beyond. Film breakdown, life in general. We talk it all around here, man. Appreciate you, Joseph. Thank you, man. Thank you for putting the fire emojis out there. Yes, indeed, man. I'm going to find that thing one way or another. Here we go. Yeah. Here we go. Tom Jasper. Goodbye, man. Appreciate you. Miles, what's good, man? Appreciate you. Appreciation for the nation. Rocky, what's good, man? Rocky Thomas. Shout out to the Thomases, man. Yeah. Hope, what's good, baby? Baby. JR214. That's a good number, man. 214. Brian, let me give all y'all a shout out. Man, don't forget to put down where you guys are from. Don't you know I love to see that? I'm from Backdoor, Mississippi. Natchez. Julius Noel. JS236 in the mix. Say What You Like podcast. What's good, man? Yes, sir. Oak Cliff in the house, man. What you know about it, Oak Cliff, fam? There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Shout out all the way from Orlando. Hope. I know it's late where you at there. VA in the house. What's up, man? Joseph. Memphis, Tennessee. Vegas. Anita. Look. No other nation can do this, right? They can't do this. They can't. The Eagles. They be like, to all the Eagles fans, where y'all from? They be like, Philly, South Philly, East Philly. Giants fan, where y'all from? New York, New Jersey. Redskins, where y'all from? VA. Washington, VA, and Maryland and stuff like that. Cowboy Nation, where y'all from? Italy, Guam, New Mexico. Yeah. Hawaii. South Africa. We got people all the way from, like I said, Brazil watching this thing. Let's continue to grow this thing. Yeah. I'm out, baby. Love y'all. Peace. Shout out to Arlington, though. Salute. Mark Holmes, where you at? I see you, Noah. East Oakland, California. See? We good, baby. We good. Yeah. I'm out. Peace. Oh, I'm going to say it again. And remember, you're listening to absolutely nothing but the best.